Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Elevate Pro Wrestling News Podcast. I am the digital and vigilant conscientious, but at the same time pretentious man. Next to me is the sexiest co-host in the entire world, the universe, Lucas Greifsu. Here we are talking about some pro wrestling. Now let's get into it today with obviously probably the biggest news that we have. Correct, you can't see him, but now you can because he shaved his head. R-Truth.
Yeah,
Feelings, opinions.
I like that he's being more in a more serious role now, but I just don't understand. I don't know where they're gonna go with it. Like, what are they?
It's clear that he's like obviously he said last night he's Ron Killings, he's not R-Truth. I see this as like such a like now you've put him as one of your main event guys. Debatably, and I can't see it any other way, he's more of a main event guy right now than Damian Priest is. And Damian Priest is a former world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I definitely agree with that because Priest kind of sucks. But I just don't understand who they're gonna have him go.
Me neither.
And face, because like as much as he's this big serious guy now, I'm always gonna see R-Truth. Like,
Right.
I'm not gonna see this new guy.
And
And he's not on Gunther's level. He's
Right.
on Cena or Cody.
Well, that's the thing is like the only logical person is Cena right now, but it doesn't look like that's what's going to happen at SummerSlam. I think that would not disappoint people, but I think that would be in the long run. That's not what you want to be as your SummerSlam. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what R-Truth is going to do. I mean, he came out last night on Raw and cut this, pretty good promo about who he is and blah, 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 blah. And I thought it was interesting. And it was good TV, but again, it's like, okay, now next week, what is he doing?
What is he doing now?
Right. Unless he's going to go and
Unless he's going to go fight Dom.
Right. And I don't think he's going to go for a mid-card title. I don't think that would make any sense. But I guess it'll be interesting to see what Cena says about it on... I guess he didn't really respond to it last night, though, with the whole... Because they just went right to the Punk situation.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what they're going to do unless you're...
him and Miz maybe are going to team back up and let Carmelo finally do his own thing.
Right. That may be it if, like, Truth tries to push Miz to be more serious.
For, like, another tag team on.
Right. And they do, like, what they were doing before, where they were, like, menaces, and they were, like, borderline getting fired from the company and the whole deal. I could see that. That would make sense. But as of right now, I just don't see R-Truth as, like... Unless he's going to win a major title, I don't see him just challenging and losing for it right now. Especially with a guy like Gunther. Honestly, Jey Uso would have made more sense had he been world champion, because then you could do the whole, like, I'm serious, you're not serious. Gunther's the most serious guy in the roster, so it's like, I don't see how that would make any sense to put Truth against him right now. But it's almost like they're pushing him to that point. I mean, he's main evented a PLE now. Well, not a PLE, I guess. It was Saturday Night main event. He cost Cena a match where he got pinned by Cody. Now he's cutting solo promos on Raw. Like, you've basically done like back to back things with him that are like main event. I mean, again, Damian Priest has not had any of those things even in the realm of happening with him.
Right.
And, supposedly they want it, he's one of their top guys. So you've easily put Truth in that A tier of people, but yeah, I don't know what else they could possibly do with him. But
yeah, unless they're just booking it awkwardly, which we just talked about this off camera, but their booking is just so... I think awkward is honestly the best word. Like, it's just so out of left field, awkward. No one really knows what's going to happen week to week, which I guess is fine, but it's like...
But it's for these, like, viral moments that they're doing it for, which is kind of the problem that I'm having with it. That's like, I understand what they're doing, but at the same time, I'm like, again, is everyone going to be happy with this arch? I know everyone's so high on it right now. Oh, it's Ron Killings. This is so cool. Great. In 3 weeks, at Night of Champions, are you going to care when R-Truth hasn't been on TV in 3 weeks?
Right.
Or if he's cutting the same I'm the Truth promo every single week. Yes, it worked Sunday. Yes, it worked Monday or Saturday, and it worked Monday. Is it really going to work week in and week out without giving him an actual program to go with? I don't think so.
I don't either.
I think this landed in a really awkward time in their schedule, because had this been around the Royal Rumble time, you could logically make him a top 2 in the Royal Rumble without having him win, have him go into Elimination Chamber, have him go top 3 there, and like, you could give him other spots. There's nothing,
yeah.
Yeah, unless
their best shot would have been like Money in the Bank, but even then you can't do that because.
Or if you're gonna have him do King of the Ring, if you were gonna have it
right, isn't he in it? No,
no, he's not.
That's really good.
And I guess we can move to that then. the King of the Ring tournament is now officially announced. The first match was last night. It was Sami Zayn, Pentagon, Braun Breaker, and Dom, with Sami Zayn coming out on top. The other matches that are listed for Raw are Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a mystery opponent. Who do you think that mystery opponent could be?
I mean, logically, I would think that it would be someone like Ilya who's set to return.
Dragunov, and I agree with that.
Because I just don't know who else it could realistically be unless they're going to do the truth thing.
Again, actually, unless they're going to do R-Truth, or unless they want, again, this is what I'm talking about with like the viral booking is like, unless it's Ilya, which would give them that same, double, and then Ilya could go logically to go face Gunther, which will blow out whatever Cena does at SummerSlam, which I don't actually think they're going to do because of that. Yeah, on top of that too,
but maybe they will, because at the same time, I feel like this whole ruining wrestling shtick that Cena's doing, I feel like it's legitimate. I feel like he's going out there and legitimately trying to ruin it. So I feel like they certainly could do that.
Even on the other hand too, though, with Cody in the King of the Ring, it makes everything weird, because the other match on SmackDown, well, the other one's Randy Orton, LA Knight, Aleister Black, and Carmelo Hayes. Any of those guys can win. I don't think any of them are winning the tournament. But then the match after that is Cody, Priest, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Andrade, which basically looks like cannon fodder for Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
None of those guys are getting anywhere TV time or push right now. I think Cody wins this tournament only because I just don't see. That's why I don't think they're going to bring Ilya back now, because I still see Cody taking a pin loss. You just had him pin Cena. I just don't see him taking a pin loss against any of those guys, and then when he does come out of it,
my only problem with him doing Cody again at SummerSlam is if Cody wins, what's Cena gonna do for the next 3 months? Because I feel like his whole thing right now is, I'm the last real dickhead.
Oh yeah.
So like, what's he gonna do in 3 months? Is he gonna get? He loses the ties. Is he gonna turn back to a face? Is he gonna?
Honestly, and I hate to even say this, I think he beats Cody again.
But that's like
the other blow burn the shit out of this. I don't think it works.
It doesn't work, because
and then you're gonna minimize King of the Ring too.
Right, you're gonna minimize King of the Ring. You're gonna bury Cody.
Well, I'm sorry. When did pinning the world champion not just give you an opportunity at the world? He pinned John Cena.
I didn't see that.
Don't get me wrong. He pins Logan Paul. Okay, it doesn't really count. Right. He flat pinned John Cena on the mat. So now he has to go into King of the Ring? That makes no sense.
Well, I guess it wasn't clean, though, because the truth was...
No, of course.
I mean...
He still pinned him in the center of the ring, though, with his finish, with one crossroads. I just don't see how that doesn't give you, okay, Cody pinned the world champion, we go on now to them being a program. No, Cody... Okay, so that match went nothing. Let's just get that out of the way. That match went nothing. Yeah. It's over.
Which we kind of knew going in. That match didn't mean anything. Yeah, it didn't really matter what they did with it.
And now Cody, I guess, is going to have to do King of the Ring to go face Cena, which is fine. It just, I don't know. I guess if Cody loses, it's going to really make it hard to believe when Cody then comes back and wins later. But also on top of that, if Cody wins, I'm sorry, this John Cena title has been one of the worst that's ever happened.
Oh, I totally agree.
I mean, if this is legitimately your world title, you get one match with Orton, one match with Punk, which was just announced for Saudi Arabia. A tag.
I'm kind of shocked about, honestly, that Punk's going to go.
I am surprised about that too, to be honest with you. But I could see if Triple H went to him, it was like, my brother, I literally don't know what else to do. But I also think that whatever happens at SummerSlam, the reality is, and how Triple H books things, WrestleMania leads into SummerSlam, which leads into Survivor Series, which leads into Royal Rumble.
Which is why I honestly don't think they're going to do Cody at SummerSlam. I think they're just going to have him do another one of these month-long silly feuds with like AJ.
I hope it's Sami Zayn.
Or Sami Zayn or something.
I hope Sami Zayn wins King of the Ring, and then it would make more sense if he went after Gunther, and I'd be...
Yeah, I hope whoever it is goes after Gunther, because I feel like no matter what they do with King of the Ring, if they have him go after Cena, it's just, I feel like it's nullifying King of the Ring, because it doesn't make sense for him to lose it.
Yes, I agree. I think that you need to have, especially because you just started doing this with King of the Ring. Right. Like, I'm pretty sure, who were the last two winners of King of the Ring? It was Gunther Is he the only one that's? Have they only done this the last year?
No, they've done it a couple of times.
I can't remember who else was the other.
The first time they brought it back, didn't someone? I thought I remember someone really dumb winning it the first.
But I mean, for the world title.
Corbin won the first time.
Yeah. But that wasn't for a world title shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is Gunther the only one that got the world title
think
shot?
so.
Okay, then yeah. Well, then there's your story, right? Yeah, you gotta protect King of the Ring right now more than having Cody just go in there and lose. And respectfully, Cody doesn't need it.
No.
Like, you have a real good opportunity right now with this big tournament you have to elevate a Sami Zayn to a world title picture to get him into SummerSlam.
Right, or even if you want to bring Ilya back, or if you want to finally do something that makes sense with Alistair, or if you want to, there's 9 other guys you could do it with.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it would make any sense to have Cody win and then not elevate all this other talent that you have in there. And then again, what is the rest of them gonna do? Like, this is what also gets muddy then, is like, you're muddying up this whole thing. You're going to take 2 weeks on King of the Ring to lead up to Night of Champions. Night of Champions, what is Night of Champions?
The end of June.
End of June? So they ain't got that much time then until SummerSlam. So then what does Dom do up until that point? Like, what does Jacob, Jacob Fatu has one challenger for this United States title.
Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously they're going to go with Solo at this point for
Right.
SummerSlam. But
which I would have much rather preferred they do that before he had won the title, because it means the United States title means nothing in this whole feud. Like, so, like, I wish if you were going to give him the title, I wish they would have made it some sort of like Solo's jealous of him. He's not. Solo's made no sign that he's jealous of Jacob. He's just stupid and just keeps messing with him. So, I don't know. I don't like how all this is starting to pan out right now.
I don't like how they're scheduling these pay-per-views or PLEs or whatever, because like we just had Money in the Bank last weekend or this past weekend. In 2 weeks we're gonna have Night of Champions. In another 2 weeks we're having a Saturday Night main event.
Yeah.
In another 2 weeks it's SummerSlam. It's like there's way too much happening.
Yes,
it's been happening, and it elevates these events to something they aren't. Like, they're putting 4 matches on these Saturday night cards.
Yeah, and honestly,
and Money in the Bank, there were only 4 matches in Money in the Bank.
Well, that's the problem. Then you go down the list of Money in the Bank matches, then, okay, besides the actual 2 matches, the Cena thing meant nothing.
Right.
Did anyone think Octagon was
right away? Exactly.
No.
And like Becky and Lyra was fine.
That was good. And you could see, there was a 50-50.
Well, you could tell that there was something missing with that, and they finally brought Bayley back to fix that.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, the past couple times they've done it, it's been like, what is this really for? It's not really doing anything for me.
And even then, like, I'm fine with that, because at least there's some, like, I 50-50 could see somebody winning. Night of Champions, Punk's not winning.
No.
That's the reality of the situation. He's not winning. Are they going to give Dom an actual challenger other than Pentagon for his title or a luchador? I hope so, because I don't see anybody else going for it. Solo and Jacob, okay, there's your kind of other 50-50 match. You need
if they even do that.
If they do, exactly. And that could be, I see it more as a SummerSlam match. But also, I don't want to see these two talk to each other for the next 2 months.
Month and a half, yeah.
Where inevitably you're going to see another Samoan join Solo. But again, I don't know what they're doing right now. And honestly, going to then the Queen of the Ring bracket.
What I don't get about the Queen of the Ring bracket, the men's one's at least somewhat okay with this, but the State of the Wing bracket, it seems like, at least with how they booked the first match, that they're taking out a lot of the obvious winners early. Like, Reed and Liv lost, were at that first match and just lost. I can't think of the names right now, but the other matches with the women have, like 3 people who should get a big push all in these matches.
Like Kira and Asuka in the same match.
Exactly. Like, so you're gonna, after this huge push, after this huge push, you just gave Valkyria. And now you're having Asuka return. So who are you going to screw over? Charlotte and Alexa. Are you going to screw Alexa over again and not give her a push again?
Exactly. Well, that's kind of the problem, is like, in the Queen of the Ring tournament, I only see that there could be one woman winning. I think it's Jade. I think she's the only logical person who can win the whole thing and not bury people in the process. But again, just like the men's bracket, what are all these women going to do after? Like, it's, and especially too, because, and this is kind of my problem with them, because you mentioned Saturday Night Main Event, also Evolutions that day.
Right.
We have no matches booked for that. And it doesn't look like we're going to get any matches booked for that until post Night of Champions.
Right.
And you're giving me 3 weeks to build to this.
Exactly. And like Nikki Bella just came back last night and
Her and Liv, I guess.
didn't do anything.
Her and Liv, I guess, are going to have a program that goes into Evolution, but who cares?
Yes, but like it's not.
I don't know what the purpose is of having Nikki Bella come out on a program to put over a girl who's already massively over, and more over than she ever was. Like, don't get me wrong, if this was Trish Stratus, yeah, okay. Here, Liv Morgan would be an actual match. I'd be like, okay, that makes sense for Evolution. You're bringing back somebody cool. Lita. Nikki Bella was never this over, dude. Like, she was never a women's champion. She was a Divas champion. So, in my opinion, I'm like, I don't see it as elevating Liv Morgan. I feel like it's just a placeholder for her because they're like, well, you are world championship material, but we don't want to give it to you yet.
Right.
Low-key, dude, I would just give her the IC belt or give her the United States.
Even the US belt, like I have no problem with Selena Vega. She's a nice person, but she's not a good champion.
Nah, she's horrible. And the matches she's been having are horrendous.
Yeah.
And they're not fit for her character right now. Especially because also the reality situation is just like the same problem that we were talking about off camera with Sami Zayn is a better face than heel. Selena Vega is a way better heel than face. She's just better at that. She's always been better at that. That's how she came into the company. That's how people are always going to see her. I don't know why she's still separated from Andrade when Mura's back in the company. It just doesn't make any sense right now. And she's not in Queen of the Ring.
Exactly.
Even though she's...
Which I guess makes sense because she has a belt already, but...
But she was a former Queen of the Ring.
No, I get that, but I mean, like, Lyra... Or not,
I agree.
But Becky's not in it, and... Well, no, Becky is in it, isn't she?
No.
So... I don't know.
Becky's not in it, Lyra's not in it, and yeah, Zelina's not in it. But... I don't know, I feel like... Dom's in it. And he's the IC champ.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like... If the IC champ could go for...
Well, they're doing even less with Dom than doing with Zelina.
That's a good point. Well, because they know that... They know the reaction for Dom is not going to vary based on the babyface that he goes against. It's just going to determine upon him controlling the match.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But then, you know... Yeah, he's the dude who could eat as many losses as he wants and nobody's going to care. So I see the logic there at least. But if we want to actually flip now to the other side of the wrestling industry with AEW, 2 4-hour programs,
2 in a row,
a week apart. I don't get it.
And it's not like they're booked well either. Like I was running down the card for Fyter Fest last week, and it was like, dude. They did the one Moxley match, which was okay. And then they did the Fatal 4-Way they've been building up for 4 months.
Oh, Kenny, yeah.
Which was good. It was a great match.
Yeah, it was fine. That was good.
But, like, it was 3 hours of just after it. Like, I don't...
Well, it's like you're giving me FTR in a Styles Clash against a bunch of Lucha guys. They're also trying to build to their CMLL event. While they're also trying to build to their All In event. I would just, if I were them, focus on All In. I don't understand... Yeah, I don't get it right now with 2 4-hour programs in a row. It's like that's so much to ask people to sit there and watch. When also, respectfully, it is not 2 4-hour it's not a 4-hour program. It's 2 hours of Dynamite and 2 hours of Collision. So once you get through 2.5 hours of that first show, we already saw the Hangman and Swerve interaction. You already saw the world. So now it's like, okay, after you just saw Hangman and all that, now we're gonna go to the FTR thing.
That's another thing I have a problem with is what are they... I don't get what they're trying to do with this All-In a main event. Because they've already announced Hangman and Mox, but now they're having Swerve come back in. They're having Ospreay come back in and do this whole thing before. I don't get what the point of this is.
I think the purpose of this is they want Swerve and they want their Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes match. They want it to be Marina Shafir runs to the ring, Willow stops her. Claudio goes to the ring and Ospreay stops him. And then Gabe Kidd goes to the ring and then Swerve stops him because he's helping Hangman. And I even get the story there that like there's this back and forth of like, do I help Hangman despite the Death Riders? But it's like...
But to me, it just feels clustered. It feels like they just can't find a way to book these guys in other situations.
Well, that's the problem is like, so you're telling me I'm not going to get an Ospreay match on All In? You're telling me I'm not going to get a Swerve match on All In? So what am I going to see on this pay-per-view right now? And that's kind of my issue, too, is I'm like, as much...
Especially with announcing Omega and Okada.
Right.
And in, 2025. Right. What are we doing?
And you're going to do Omega Okada, which actually is probably the biggest money match you can do for All In besides the Moxley match. However, they're both holding titles that other people can be going for.
Exactly.
I would have just had Omega lose that match, the Fatal 4-Way. Put someone in there that you want, Brody King, he waits, great, whatever. Okada comes out, jumps Omega, boom, we're going for Okada's belt. Now it's like you're doing a double title match with two guys who aren't at their even near their peak of their career. One of them's now going to have to wrestle more than the other. Logically, I think Okada loses. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And my problem too with the whole Swerve thing is the Young Bucks have disappeared, which probably means they're going to come back at All In, which whatever that it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't get it, and I don't get what we're supposed to do. And again, you're asking people to consume so much of your product when WWE is counterbooking you. You should be not minimizing, but you should be taking advantage of the time you have. If you're going to give me 4 hours of something and I have to watch fucking Leo Rush and Action Andretti on my screen, that's bullshit. What am I watching right now? If I have to watch, and again, this is also kind of messed up. I don't know if you saw this from Fyre Fest. 4 hours of wrestling, 13 minutes of women's wrestling.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And most of it was just pseudo build for.
It was Toni Storm. It was Toni Storm and her whole feud. That was crazy to me because you do have other talented women on that roster,
right? Especially when they're booking, like you mentioned, like the Leo Rush nonsense, or I guess you want to have FTR wrestle, but at least give them someone I care about.
Well, that's in my opinion. If you're gonna do All In and you're gonna do these 4-hour shows, you should be maximizing your TV time. This is where you then do, okay, guys, we're gonna have one match go 30 minutes at the end of the show, so that we don't have to do match. And again, when you're just throwing stuff against the wall, and I have to watch again. Why did we need a Fatal 4-Way last week for the Ring of Honor television title?
Right.
What am I watching?
Right, or why is Daniel Garcia teaming up with another random guy again? I don't.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that even happened.
Yeah.
See, I forgot that even happened. And then FTR isn't, again, their whole thing is we're the top guys, we're the most winning tag team. They go after the Hurt Syndicate.
Right, then wrestle the top guys.
That's honestly, again, another money match that you could be having right now, but they're choosing not to because it's they're scared to make these plays right now. And again, MJF teases Mystico. Cool. I'm with that. Top guy in Mexico, top guy in AEW. Let's do it. Nope. And then now it's getting muddled and befuddled with this Kevin Knight, Hong Kong Fooey, and freaking Commander, who all dressed like the Power Rangers when they went out there, which was ridiculous to even look at on my screen. And the fact that the Hurt Syndicate bumped for those guys is nuts to me. And I like Kevin Knight. Yeah, I think Kevin Knight's good. I think Commander's actually half decent. I think you could do the same 4 things.
Right, but when you put them all in a match together, it's where are we going to go from here?
Well, right. It's so all of them are going to do all the flippy stuff? Great. Awesome.
Speaking of flippy stuff, let's talk about Worlds Collide.
Oh, yeah. That was a horrible bit. Objectively.
The wrestling was questionable, and the production was
the worst part of the whole thing. It was borderline impossible to watch.
So bad.
From the wrong camera angles
to for the what's it called?
The announcers of people in the crowd.
Yeah, for Triple Mania too, they put up the wrong graphic the first.
Yeah, they said it was in June.
It was in June,
and it's in August. And then they put in a commercial for me to buy a ticket.
Right.
To Tijuana, Mexico as an American viewer? What are we talking about? Just stream it. I'm not going to go to Tijuana to watch this show.
Right.
That was crazy to me that then they tried to make it we'll get more ticket sales by doing this. Ticket sales?
Yeah.
Who? From who?
Right. All the people that are going to go are at the actual event.
Exactly. Which is fine. I don't know. I feel like they were also trying to do history of AAA while simultaneously trying to book AAA guys while also having the AAA guys lose a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they did it was nice they did a 3-2.
Yes.
But even the beginning match where they won wasn't great. I mean, the wrestling was certainly better than the other 6-man match that they did, but
yeah, it was a lot of the wrestling was clunky as hell, which again is Lucha Libre. But again, you have to remember these guys wrestle in a 6-sided ring.
Right, yeah.
And they're not used to doing all the, they're not used to a hot tag sequence. They're not used to all these things right now. and you're trying to force them into this styles clash, and it just doesn't work. Obviously, Vikingo and Chad Gable was great.
That was great, man.
It was just a bunch of moves, but it was great.
Yeah, it was great. The Fatal 4-Way was great.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that they had Legato eat the pin.
Oh, that was horrible that Legato won. Because again,
Well, no, he lost. He ate the pin. He lost.
who?
Legato.
No, the Phantasma?
Oh, no. Sorry. Who am I thinking of? Laredo. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. That Laredo got pinned by Athea Hayes.
Yeah, but no, Legato winning was horrible.
That made no sense. You just put out the
right. You put their top 3 guys, and then the worst part is the Money in the Bank. They highlighted them again after they just lost.
Yes, and they were in the crowd, and I'm like, you making it like they just won,
Right?
And no Legato.
Mm.
And now I swear to God, if we get to Friday and Legato has done nothing all week, I'm gonna be like, what was even the point?
That's my question. Is I don't get what the point of this event was, because like if you're gonna sort of like absorb AAA or sort of bolster their programming, I guess I kind of get that.
Yeah,
but it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing, because there was no mention of it ever appearing for
Right.
WWE ever again.
Well, that's the thing is like, throughout this whole program, despite the history, despite you announcing Triple Mania, you did not announce that Triple Mania is going to be on your streaming service. You did not announce that they're going to have some streaming deal. You honestly didn't even really announce that there's going to be any other AAA guys on any other WWE program.
Right. It's not like you even did a TNA thing where you brought some AAA guys over
For Raw or
not
SmackDown or
to
NXT.
have Vikingo lose, but you didn't give them any kind of belt or anything from AAA to make still want to go over and watch it again.
Right.
I don't get what the whole point of doing this.
Me neither. I don't understand what the whole point was, other than just having an event to sell tickets when AAA is still running shows, WWE still running shows. I see no in between. Again, in my opinion, other than R-Truth and Ilya being that mystery position, I could see Psycho Clown getting in that spot.
Yeah.
I could see one of these AAA guys getting the spot.
Right, or even Vikingo, but I mean...
Right? I could see one of those guys getting the spot to go and just be highlighted on Raw. That would at least make more sense. If we now I'm interested because now we're post Worlds Collide. Where like for weeks we had Vikingo on Raw, the Laredo Kid on NXT. Now going into this, what is going to happen? Now that we've gotten past Worlds Collide and there's no outlook towards any sort of other partnership with AAA, what are we actually going to get now?
Right.
So I think that's going to be the interesting part when we end up going towards either nothing, or maybe they do announce another AAA event.
Or maybe they're going to have it be more with NXT, like they're doing with TNA, which I'm fine with. But at the same time, you have all this true NXT talent that you're just going to kind of bury now by bringing more of these guys in.
Right. I don't understand it. But transitioning to another WWE booking decision, what's your opinion on Seth Rollins and Naomi winning the Money in the Bank briefcase?
I mean, I felt like it was obviously booked. I mean, with the way that with who they put in the matches, at least certainly for the men's matches, there was no one else really in that match that should have or made logical sense to win.
Agreed.
The women's match, I could have seen Vicaire winning because they were doing the whole push with her. I could have seen Alexa winning to finally give her push.
Yeah.
But I agree, Naomi made the most, sense going in. I think we talked about that last week, with the whole thing she's doing with Jade and Bianca.
Right.
But my question is, when are they gonna use it? Are they gonna just use the briefcase to give Naomi the belt first, or are they gonna have Bianca or Jade win it to then have Naomi take it off of them?
If Jade wins Queen of the Ring, that's what's happening at some point.
Oh, 100%.
If she wins Queen of the Ring, that's...
But I feel like that's way too obvious though now.
That seems like what their booking is. If we get Jade and Cody winning the King of the Ring, dude, it seems like the booking has gone so conservative.
Oh, 100%. I miss the old days of WWE in like the early 2010s where they were putting on these like banger championship matches on free TV where it was like, oh, I could actually see John Cena losing the belt on Raw, or
right?
Like this other stuff. But now it feels like we're just at a point where there's no like logical end step to where a champion might lose their belt.
Right. Well, that's where then you get Jey Uso and Gunther last night, which was it surprising that Gunther won? Yes.
Yeah, I mean it was,
but I don't think anybody expected Gunther to take another clean L.
Right.
So if it was going to be Gunther losing, it was going to be a dirty, like it was going to be something where like somebody came out to feud with Gunther or whatever the case may be. So that's kind of like my issue though, is I'm like, you build Jay up for so long, he's so over. Now where's Jey Uso go? You know, I don't think he's gonna enter King of the Ring in that mystery slot. I don't think he's gonna go rematch Gunther unless Cody does win and ends up going to face Cena.
Maybe they're gonna put the Usos back together as a tag team.
Honestly, that's your biggest money thing you can do right now because that division is so bad.
Yeah,
Because both guys are really over, and
which I guess would actually make sense because they were past couple weeks they've been pushing Jimmy up a little bit more too.
yeah, he got a pin over Jason Mateo, so that's interesting because he beat Jeff Cobb. So now you can go and have these different guys. You know, you can have them work the different guys in the WWE system. Maybe you have them go to NXT for a little while. Like, I feel like you could do something different with the Usos to get them back together. Kind of the issue is, though, and again, probably obvious booking, but they're probably just going to book them against the New Day for the titles because they want to run that back for SummerSlam.
Which I'm fine with as long as the Usos win.
Right, yeah, that's true, actually. They need to win that match. They can't do this anymore, like, back and forth with the New Day. Like, just take the belt off them.
Right, I feel like that's the problem with the Raw division and all. Is it's all back and forth. It's either the New Day versus the Viking guys, or New Day versus the Creed brothers again and again and again, or a 6-man, which was dumb when they did that on Raw.
Yeah, there's no people in that division whatsoever. Like, they need to start pulling in. Again, I feel like that's where they could really benefit from this AAA partnership, that you can put two random AAA guys together and put them on one of those shows, and they're contenders. Psycho Clown Pagano, Psycho Clown Wagner, any of those guys you could put in that and realistically have them, maybe not win, but you can have them be at least like a good PLE challenger, you know what I mean? So I think that is interesting, at least for the time being. But as for Raw last night, we did see that it will be Punk and Cena at Night of Champions. What are your thoughts on that?
I liked the promo that they did. Yeah, but again, like we talked about earlier, I know the Punk's not winning. There's no allure to it. I'm not going into Night of Champions going, oh wow, a title could change hands here.
Right. That's the problem. It's like this. It's like they're doing these like money matches, but at the same time too, like, I don't know. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not going to see an American audience reacting to CM Punk and John Cena.
Exactly.
And it wasn't at Money in the Bank, and it's not going to be at SummerSlam, and that's probably going to be their last matches in Saudi Arabia. And I'm surprised Punk even agreed to it, to be honest with you, but it's probably, like I was telling you off camera, that I think that just Triple H was like, listen, man, this is the only way I can give you this, because otherwise, you know, Cody's going at him at SummerSlam, and then I have, you know, a storyline for, you know, whatever the case may be. I fear that The Rock may come out at SummerSlam to screw over Cody.
Boring.
I agree. Because I could see that they may want to do Team Cena versus Team Cody at Survivor Series.
Even that's boring. Like, I feel like you're building this whole stable with Rollins now. I feel like that's the obvious move for SummerSlam.
Oh, that's true. That would be interesting if you could get Rollins and his two boys.
Because you got to bring Roman back.
Yes.
And you got to bring, well, you don't have to, but I'm assuming that Brock is going to come back at some point.
Yep. I feel like that's why they keep having Cena and Rollins keep saying there's no one here to save you. I feel like they want to push this huge Roman Reigns babyface turn, which would be interesting because if they're building to this, bro, Roman's beaten one of them. Like, he will be champion then, and I don't think Roman's going to go for the World Heavyweight title. Maybe because it's Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins, but I don't think Roman's going to be I'm just going to help him win the title. I think Roman's coming out to win something then, because Cody's not getting cheered against Cena right now.
Cody's not getting really cheered at all because people are just bored with his goofy face crap that he does.
Well, it's like we're taking it also month after month after month. We are just seeing this feud progress. Again, if this feud doesn't end at SummerSlam, it's not going to end at Survivor Series, and then it's going to take us to the end of the year. Is stale as shit right now. It is like so disgustingly stale. And I think that the Moxley stuff is stale right now, but I, honest to God, like, I do think that Hangman's winning at all.
I would hope so.
So, in my opinion, and again, to Tony Khan out there, bro, you have a real opportunity right now to strongly, strongly counter WWE programming with your booking.
Yeah.
You have a guy in WWE who's holding the company hostage. Probably when Rollins cashes in, he's going to play the same gimmick. Nobody realistically wants to see those two champions. Rollins people will be okay with for a little while, but Cena's getting stale already with it being obvious that he's not going to lose the title to anybody other than Cody Rhodes. So that's where you have to be able to put your foot down and say, we are going to do this we are going to have Hangman defend the title on TV. That's something John Cena is not doing.
Right.
We're going to have Hangman Page against logical contenders like Swerve, like Will Ospreay, like, any of those other guys who are in that company.
I mean, you could even say the same thing with Gunther now being champion again. It's not gonna he's not gonna show up on Raw to just defend the belt randomly. He's not gonna.
Well, that's the problem too. Is like
At least if it's gonna be similar to his last reign.
well, that's kind of the issue too. Is like, okay, so Gunther's gonna lose his title via cash in,
Right.
and then he's gonna again. So then Roman comes back. So to me, this seems like Gunther's gonna be a transitional champion.
Yeah.
Which I hate.
Right.
It makes
because Gunther's the top guy on the
right. Yeah. And he's now a 2-time world heavyweight champion, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion ever. He loses via cash in. Is he then going to go challenge Seth?
Right.
And lose? Because he has to get a rematch after that. Because it seems like.
Or not. Because I feel like they've kind of stepped away from that.
That's true. And if they don't, then it's going to be Roman immediately challenging. And then you're just going to push Gunther out of that scene completely. I just don't think that makes any sense. Already with his feud with Jey Uso right now, it did seem like it was a little bit forced to have Gunther get this rematch from WrestleMania. And it was like they were simultaneously having to do the build for Gunther at the same time they were doing the build for the tag match. It just seems like Gunther's going to be this transitional champion where, like, again, who will face Gunther in between the time? Unless, again, maybe there's a Jey Uso rematch that happens in the time. I'm sure that'll be what main events. Saturday night main event.
Yeah.
Unless they have the World Championship match at Saudi. But I just don't see Gunther as anything else other than a transitional champion right now, which I hate. I want him to have a legitimate title run.
Yeah.
Because his last one was good.
It was great.
And his Intercontinental Championship was great. But now you also have to give him some legitimate opponents. Even when he was world champion, respectfully, he lost to Cody in that time at Saudi Arabia. And that made no sense. Because you now are, you've put, okay, Gunther's here, Cody's here.
Right, and he wasn't really facing, like, top guys when he was champ. I mean,
it was Priest, Jey Uso.
Yeah.
I don't remember anyone else that he feuded.
For some reason, I seem to remember him feuding with Sheamus. That might have been IC belt.
I think that was IC belt. I don't remember anyone else that.
Even then, Sheamus, who doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. You don't think he's gonna win.
Right.
And that's the problem too, is like you have an opportunity right now to do something great with Gunther when it comes to he can go on and then face again a CM Punk who could put him over and a Drew McIntyre to put him over and like all these other guys who could push Gunther as your legit longer reigning champion rather than Cena having to do this like week in and week out BS. But I don't really know.
Yeah. And now with King of the Ring going on too, it seems like they're not gonna be doing anything with either belt until SummerSlam.
Yep.
Anything serious anyway. I mean, obviously they're doing the stupid Cena stuff, but
yeah, but it's other than like going into SummerSlam, other than going into Night of Champions, SummerSlam, you have no other opponents for Cena, and it's probably gonna be a rematch with Cody and a match that doesn't matter with Punk because. Yeah. And also, and I don't think a lot of people are thinking about those. It's not going to be that good of a match. Cena and Punk.
No.
Punk does not move the way he used to.
Right, Cena's phoning it in. I mean, you can tell that Punk is not,
I mean, I don't think they're going to go out there and do the same thing they did in the 2010 where they're like, oh, let's do a pile driver. Like, let's shock the world right now with everything we're doing.
I mean, I could see them doing another sort of like methodical match, but it'll be slower pace, which is the problem. Their matches back then, it was all quick, like, oh, we'll pop them up and do it quick, get out and do a GTS. Like, we just can't do that anymore.
I agree. That's the problem is like I don't think they have the capacity to do that match anymore as much as they even may want to, but I feel like that's going to cause like, just like kind of the Orton match, which was fine. The Orton match wasn't bad, but we have not had a Cena match yet that ends clean. And it's really getting annoying that, like, WrestleMania, he cheats. And then,
Backlash, he cheats.
Yeah, Backlash against Orton, R-Truth helped him. And then at Money in the Bank, R-Truth got involved again, and now are we gonna have United Champions somewhere?
Mention the Travis Scott nonsense.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like WrestleMania wasn't it was like horribly not clean. And it's like, okay, so now United Champions, are you really gonna have that not be clean too? And then SummerSlam, him cheat, like, it's getting excessive. And it's getting stupid because his opponents are almost like, you should expect him like to cheat, exactly. And it's not even like MJF where it's like, okay, it's a low blow this match, and then a belt shot this match, and then an interference this match. No, it's the same interference belt shot, interference belt shot, interference belt shot, and it's getting like so repetitively annoying that
they even did it at Money in the Bank in the tag match.
Yeah, exactly. He hit Cody with the belt.
Yeah,
it was just inversed. It was belt shot interference instead, which doesn't make any sense to me. And also, they went on TV last night and made no mention that Cody pinned Cena. Like Cena didn't go like, oh, it doesn't matter that he pinned me. Like, no, there's no mention of it, which makes no sense because then again, you're just throwing matches away that could build your story deeper. But I guess we'll see next week after 4 hours of Dynamite tomorrow, which I know you're not gonna watch, and subscribe me to watching 0 of it. And I will watch 2 hours of it until I pass out. I give them 2 hours of
what are they even doing? I saw the graphic, but I don't remember.
Osprey and Swerve.
That'll be good. I might watch that.
There, that'll be solid.
I might watch,
but it's not gonna end it.
No.
That's not gonna be an hour 4. That's gonna be an hour 2, like 1.5.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the issue. Is how am I gonna watch that? And then you're gonna give me
the Don Callis fest.
Yes. And then you're gonna give me Trent Beretta and Rocky Romero in a tag match against 2 luchadors who look the same. How does this make any sense? And then you're gonna make me watch Okada and Omega do a contract signing. Neither guy cuts promos well.
I guarantee you that's gonna be like 25 minutes.
Yes, but I don't know how because Okada doesn't speak good English and Kenny Omega has diverticulitis. I just don't understand. You're like, it's like Tony doesn't.
It's like they're going out of their way to book it badly.
Well, it's like he's trying to do all these things from like the past, and he's like, oh yeah, like I remember when that match was good. Those guys didn't ever do a contract signing.
Go watch it.
Exactly. Go on New Japan World, type in your little address, and go find that match, and go realize that when Gato was booking it, he just booked it. He didn't have them do contract signings.
Right.
And there's only like 2 times that was actually for a belt. One time it was a grudge match. One time it was G1. And then the other 2 times were for the belt. And also one of those matches was a tie. And also, do you think those 2 guys are gonna go out there for 35 minutes and work a match? Yeah, they'll hurt themselves. Like they will legitimately hurt themselves. But I guess we will report back when that happens. But that's all we have for today.
Yeah.
That's all we have for today, folks. Thank you for watching the Elevate Pro Wrestling News Podcast. I am the Puerto Rican Prince. This is my co-host, the sexiest man in the world, the universe Lucas Gripesue, and we will see you in the next episode.